if you consuming foods that's putting holes in your gut, like the sister was mentioning that, if she's dealing like with the gluten, and the gluten is literally be like jumping through the brain barrier. And then people, if they be having like seizures and stuff like that, they notice they start to remove certain foods, how their mental health starts to change. Also, right, just what you consume as far as what you eat and drink literally like changes your physiology, or just how you just look at things.
Hey, thank you for tuning in and watching what we had to offer. Continue to look at what we have by following us on all the social medias and subscribing to our channels, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you can find us, SongLab Live. So, first off, my name is EarlAlex. Nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
I know you guys all know me a little bit, right? A little bit. Might have heard of me, might have seen me online.
I follow you.
Sure.
I'm a fan. I follow you.
Nice. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I got some interesting things to say sometimes, one time for the mind. Hopefully, it gets through to people's
I like how you think. So,
thank you.
That's dope. That's one thing when I started following you, I was like, I like how he operates. I like how he moves. So, much props.
Oh, man, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like how you move too. I mean, everything that you do, you actually are big on health, but also you add in a level of spirituality, another level, say, extra dose.
Oh, yeah.
Of reality.
You can't separate the two.
Yeah,
you can't separate the two.
It's like they're
like Siamese twins. They're inseparable.
That's
the whole thing.
So if I can, since we started off here, let me go ahead and get you to introduce yourself for the people so they can know who you are, follow you, and don't be shy. Let them know your social medias.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before I start off anything, I usually have my mantra, PC Universe. Everything that exists in this universe exists within you. And so I'm Ethan Ellisor, former owner of Destroy and Rebuild Fitness Gym. Recently, it shut down. And so now I'm off into different ventures that deal with herbal medicine, fitness, health, and correlating all those things within spirituality. Nice. And follow me on Destroy and Rebuild Fitness on Instagram, Destroy and Rebuild Fitness, and Facebook, Ethan Ellisor. Follow me on that. I do a lot of Melanin Chronicles on that, and that's some deep stuff that you probably want to get into.
Awesome. All right, now to your right, my left. Let's go ahead and get you in here too. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are and how to find you. Also.
Absolutely. You can follow me at Be More Raw, all spelled normally, BEMORERAW, Be More Raw, BeMoreRaw.com, Be More Clean. But if you go to Be More Raw, you'll see all my other pages. I'm the founder of the Melanin Natural Expo. I'm a naturopathic wellness practitioner. So I've worked in alternative medicine for about 10 years, helping people reverse chronic illness where conventional medicine has failed, which it does all the time. And I'm a colon hydrotherapist, and I teach at Sweeha. I teach holistic nutrition coaching and a raw food course there. And then I'm currently an FDNP student, so I'll be able to run labs very, very soon, relevant labs that will tell you a lot more about your body, like your hormone levels and your stress levels and GI panels and things like that. So I help people where conventional medicine has failed. I'm an author. I have my book here, and I'm definitely a mom as well.
Awesome.
I'm a dad. I forgot. Hey, what's up, Micah?
Let's not forget the little ones.
Yeah, I love you, buddy.
Aww.
Yes. All right. Now, to your right, my left.
Yes, sir.
Not the least, but the last seat in the house. Go ahead. Tell people who you are and give them your social medias. Let them know, Leo.
For sure. Peace to the family, much success to everybody out there that's listening and just peeping game on me. My name is Leonardo Victory II, or y'all can just call me Chef Leo. And I'm also a herbalist as well. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Leo Victory II. Then I'm on TikTok and Instagram, LTG219, YouTube as well, Victory to Health. And also too, I have a herbal supplement brand. Also, it's really like a lifestyle, but it's www.victorytohealth.com.
Nice. Awesome. wondering what that bag of pills was. I didn't know, we don't have customs here in the building.
Herbal stuff.
Capsules.
Oh,
Capsules.
man.
They
Yeah,
are
people.
capsules. You got a red and blue one?
Matrix,
We
baby.
all woke over here.
Yeah. We definitely
Matrix.
woke up.
Okay.
If not, you're in the wrong place.
Hey, man.
That's what it is. Well, thank you guys for joining me outside of the Matrix, where we speak about things that people need to know and should be connected to rather than this system which don't give a. All right, let's move on to the
Facts.
real thing, what we're here to speak about today, which is health, nutrition, and also how that, has to work, in, your daily life, your spiritual life, and in different aspects of the lives that we live. So thank you guys for joining me on this today.
Yeah,
You guys are telling people who you are.
I think that
Go ahead.
health plays into every aspect of our life. You can't do anything without good health. You can't go to the store if you have poor health. You can't even get out of your bed. I watched a while back. I used to talk to somebody that she was so addicted to that 600-pound life, and they were limited in where they can go because they were stuck in their bed. And they actually one episode I saw somebody have to be lifted up through a forklift just to get out of bed, a forklift, and that blew my mind. And so everything that we do correlates with health and wellness, but also spirituality, to know us on a deeper level, because there's degrees of awareness that we were talking about before we went live. There's reality is more than just one dimensional. There's many aspects of reality, and in order for you to get the fruits of life, you have to explore all aspects of it.
Right. I agree.
Sexually, shoot, you can't. There's guys that are my age. I'm about to be 41 pretty soon, and they have a hard time getting an erection.
Yeah.
And that's, poor circulation. They can't do a normal function without life, because sex is a normal function. We are sexual beings.
Yeah.
We are sexual beings, no matter how you want to.
If you can't get an erection, it's actually one of the first signs of heart disease, because it's just a very large blood vessel.
Yeah.
So
And if you're limiting that, then
Heart cannot pump enough blood to.
yeah, exactly. So you likely already have early signs
Yeah.
of heart disease if you're having trouble with erections. If
Exactly.
you're having libido issues, and your hormones are likely shot, or not shot, need attention.
Need attention.
Yeah, you need some loving, tender
some
care.
loving words.
Yeah, some tender care to your body. Show some
TLC,
love. Show
yeah.
some
No,
love.
for sure. And the TLC that we were talking about is nutritionally, and again, will be spiritually as well. Because typically people get into a relationship and they start to gain weight, and they're like, "Man, that's the relationship weight." So
Yeah.
you meet somebody and you start to become more unhealthier, and that's true love. When actually what's supposed to actually happen is you're supposed to meet this person, your spirituality is supposed to go up, your nutrition is supposed to go up,
Yep.
your fitness is supposed to go up as well, because we were just talking about circulation.
Yeah.
And also too, no matter how good that you're eating, if you're not exercising, it's literally almost like defeating the purpose.
Correct.
I completely disagree with that statement. I see a lot of people work out and then they're eating terribly. So most fitness trainers will actually tell you that it's mostly diet, like to get abs, right? So I definitely disagree that it's a waste if you're not working out. Eating healthy is gonna make a big part, and that'll affect your stress. So I'll always start with diet, because then if they feel a little better, then they might even be more motivated to go work out. Now, I'm not saying it's not healthy. Obviously, it's beneficial to work out, and I totally agree that we need to be physically moving our bodies. But I would definitely disagree that, I definitely feel that, definitely start with the diet. That's going to be the easiest thing, because it's going to get you the biggest results the quickest. Working out, sometimes you're doing it and you're not going to see anything. And if you're eating shitty, with like my current client was like not doing this huge jug of processed whey protein crap, you would, oh my God, you would have loved it. I'm sure you have it in your house, right? No, I'm kidding. I know.
So funny.
It was just like, but they don't know any better, right? So I'm just teaching them, right? Like, I'm just teaching them what it is. But as soon as she got off of that, like, she didn't increase when she was working out. She worked out 5 days a week. It was like 3 to 5 days a week. And her skin cleared up in the first week of us working together. We have 4 more weeks together. Right away.
See,
Making small changes.
and a lot of that is diet, and I get exactly what you're saying
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
when you want to eat healthy. A lot of people we feel pressure in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people look at the weight that they have on their body differently. So some people care about it because of their aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
How they look. So then they want the quick fix. They feel like, all right, if I hit the gym, it'll go away. Or some people think about it through how they feel. So then they're like, maybe if I eat healthier, it'll make me feel better. I think people approach it and their motivations come from different areas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you find that out and connect
with
to the
yours,
people with that,
yeah.
then it's easier to help them along the path and make it something that they can attach to in their daily lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think if a person is motivated to first go to the gym or to do something active, then let's get them doing that, because it's going to move them along the path
Totally agree.
to a more healthier lifestyle.
Yes.
But I do agree that the main pillar and the staple is first what you put in your body.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you have to move your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like
go ahead and
For sure. No, that's actually what I meant. Like
Mm.
nutrition is no.
That's so funny. At the end, he's like, actually, that's what I meant to say.
no, I'm saying though, no, it's like, so you eat healthy, right? And also with the movement, because typically the average person is just gonna be like, okay, cool, man, I ain't gotta eat, because you know, with bodybuilders, they eat horrible and then they look good on the exterior.
They do, except they got face full of acne. That's not health.
Yeah, 100%
Carry
though.
on.
Yeah, so it's like the nutrition's up here, but also too, it's like, okay, cool, you eating good, but it needs circulation in the body, so it's the nutrition and the fitness. So we saying the same thing. I might
And-
say,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
and so like I come from bodybuilding background. I come from bodybuilding, powerlifting
Yes.
background. So like I see this like crazy everywhere. And like kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying, sometimes it's better to start off exercising, because that might be what's most familiar with that
Yeah.
individual, especially if that
Totally
person
agree.
comes from like a sports background.
Yes.
Working out with it, that's like second nature to some people.
Yeah.
Even though they got a piss poor diet, you know, exercise might be the quickest way for them to start their or jumpstart their way to a better fitness. And as I was growing up, watching, you know, bodybuilders, watching powerlifters. No, did they eat the best? No.
They'll smash a whole pizza.
Yeah, they'll smash because you could do so. But what I found is
they didn't know.
Oh,
what
they
they're doing.
Well, some did.
Yeah, and when you put, and also when you're putting some synthetic stuff in you, you know, hey, I don't knock it. It's to each their own. It's not for me, and it's not what I stand for. Especially when you deal with artificial things like synthetic enhancements. I'm not with that.
Talking about steroids.
Steroid.
Yeah, insulin too. They shoot insulin.
But it could be a perfect segue into a better nutrition, because before I had better nutrition, I was into bodybuilding and powerlifting.
Yeah.
That segued me into nutrition and eating once a day and eating plant-based and things of that nature, but they complement each other. They like peanut butter and jelly or whatever it may be. It complements each
I
other.
always encourage anybody for doing anything, and all of my clients, I say, listen, the fact that what if they don't hit any goal for this week? What if they didn't hit any? I said, look, the fact that you're interested, even if you haven't done anything, if you just want to be healthier, then that's a big deal wherever you're at. And I'm not saying that to placate you. I really genuinely mean that. Like, I want everybody to be healthy.
Thanks.
It pains me. I get sad when I see like little kids and all snotty with gum in their mouth. I'm like, oh my God. Right. But it's like wherever you're at, if you even are interested in being healthy, whatever that means to you, hell yeah, that's amazing.
Let's
Good job.
also talk about how the mental space also affects the physical and how it can. So I've noticed that on my journey through health, it was more the way that I thought about myself that led me to looking a certain type of way, because that then affected my habits in eating, my habits in activity, and then it would cause me to either gain weight, or if I'm feeling good
Say
or
it
my
again.
confidence is better, then it would actually cause me to look better. I would actually lose weight, even with less activity.
Because well, what you're doing is you're planting the seed. Whatever thought that you're having is the seed that you plant. It's a matter of whether you're watering it. So you have feeling a certain way, feeling a certain way, or having a positive affirmation about who you are. That automatically, whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, that allows you to start taking steps in your actions that automatically coincide with how you feel or how you think. Even your body transforms itself to how you think. You can transform a disease by how you think. You can transform how it operates by how you feel, because all these things are things that you're doing to enhance that frequency. By the thought alone is planting the seed. When you feel something, that's watering the seed. And when you do the action, that's manifesting it. And so all those steps are leading to the manifestation of how you're operating or how you're vibrating on a physical level. And so how you feel is going to, or how you think is going to directly correlate with how you feel and how you act and even how you look. Because certain people think a certain way and they look a certain way. It's not by just coincidence. It's intentional, whether they know it or not. Some people might not know it. Some people do. But how you think correlates with how you feel and how you look.
Because I know men that don't work out at all, but are jacked, and the way they live, you can tell just lends to that. Oh, what is he doing? Oh, he's working on the car here. He's going over here to then do this to help this person. Then he's going over here to move this thing, and it's just
some people
living their lives.
Some people are genetically predisposed. Me being in the fitness world, some people are genetically predisposed to be a certain way. But you have to think about it on a grander scale. There's different. So if you've ever seen Avatar, right? Have you guys seen Avatar? Yeah. Okay, so on the first one, they deal with forest people, right? Forest people are built a certain way that's advantageous to their atmosphere or their environment, living in the forest. There are certain people that, in the second part, are ocean people, are water people, the ways of the water or whatever it's called. And that is more conducive for them living in the water. And so they're built a certain way that correlates with their environment. And so we have that as well. Each of us can be different aspects of that environment. We can even be forms of, because most of us come from tropical places. We're people of color, so we come from tropical places. But within that tropical region, there's different environments that you have to pick up things. So your arms might be longer or something like that. I have to carry things on my back. So my glutes and my hips, my legs have to be stronger to hold things in that nature. And so we're thinking about, oh, that person can squat, that person can deadlift, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you got to think about it in a more primitive state. And I don't even like using that word primitive state. I think just more evolutionary state, and something that coincides with their environment. If that's going to allow that person or allow that species or allow that group of people or tribe to be successful and thrive in the environment that they're in, they're going to develop special qualities in their genetic predisposition that allows them to survive. You know?
I feel that. I mean, how do you guys feel about, say, your mentality affecting how you look physically and also your health?
I don't know.
No, go ahead.
I'm trying to put it together, to be honest. You're saying how I think affect how I look?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about that. I mean,
we know that
80 to 90% of the communication from the vagus nerve is from the gut to the brain.
Okay.
So almost all of it comes from the gut up to the brain. So how would that affect how I look, right? How do I think? How does that affect how I look? I mean, I guess I agree with Ethan that, if you're not thinking great, you're probably not going to feel great. You're probably not going to care as much about what you look like. So in general, that might affect you. You know what I mean? If you're feeling good about yourself, you're going to present yourself. But everyone has different opinions of that. I'm deep into the holistic hippie world, so I met some funky mofos, but they're dearest friends of mine because they do natural hygiene. I'm not quite there. That's not an aspiration of mine, and I don't mind it. I love these people dearly, but it's like, for me, my point is that you could go either direction with that. When you talk about like spirituality, it's so individual, and so for me, I don't know if you've ever heard of Zeitgeist. It's a documentary. For me, the very first 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is of Zeitgeist is where I come from in spirituality. I was atheist my whole life, basically, into my adult life. I'm 38 now. And then I saw that. And then I got into raw food nutrition years after that. But that for me, brought it into, oh, this is not some made up stuff when we talk about religion and spirituality and God and all of that. It's like we all have different names for the same shit. It's the sun. It's the sun.
Yeah,
there's the sun. It's the sun and the planets. It's not, we didn't make anything up. We just have different stories. 100%. So for me, when I got into raw food nutrition, I kept going to these lectures and everyone kept bringing up God. And I was like, I'm atheist. I'm like, why are you bringing up God? I ain't even trying to hear this. I'm over here trying to cure cancer. I'm like, why are they keep bringing up God? Because when you remove, like he said earlier, when he did the fast, when you remove all the low vibrational stuff, whether that's rotting animal flesh or processed food that is low vibrational, that is dead, it's not alive, like a sprout, right? You are removing this gunk, and it's an energetic, right? It's both. It's energetically lighter, so you're more connected to source, right? So that's what brought me back to spirituality. It's like, we just have different names for it, and that's okay. So I'll never judge if you want to call it Buddha or, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't tell me what to say, right? But if you want to say source or Buddha or God, like Jehovah, all of it, baby.
That's why I say universe instead of God, because if I say God, people typically try to see a certain entity. If I say universe, you can't conceptualize universe. How are you going to conceptualize universe?
Well,
you can't.
Either way, my point is, if somebody says universe and they don't, right? So my point was just bringing back to what you were saying, right? Yeah. You could go either direction with how it makes you look. It could make you feel so good and you might present yourself better. But my point is that you might perceive bummy to what that person perceives as is better. So we can't even, that's what I meant, right? Is that everyone's gonna look for it a different way. So like, look at how clean he looks. He came wearing his best stuff. I did too. I'm in a tank top and jeans. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's okay. And he looked good. And he looked good too. You know what I'm saying? So we might even have a different perception of what that is. So for me, it's even hard to say, like, dang, I was like, I don't know. I'll always start with the gut because I feel like it's gonna make the easiest change. A lot of people will work out and they don't want to change their diet. A lot of people get 100%. Colonics, they don't change their diet. So like for me, I feel like that's the biggest place to tackle. I'm just like, ugh.
Which is strange. I do think okay, so I'd like to say after conception we have perception. And we have a series of perceptions that then create our worldview. And this worldview, you have, you as a person, you have your characteristics, and then you have reality, put that together, then you have your personality. And through that, you express your worldview through all of your perceptions.
I love it.
And then for me, my term for God is just reality, because I feel like I'm living within it. The universe is of the mind, as we know. And with that being the case, I believe that helps to shape how we see ourselves by our worldview. So then it affects us. It's like the mirror, which you were talking about. A mirror in front, a mirror in back. But we don't have the peripheral vision of really knowing ourselves in the moment as much as we should. I think good health allows us to open ourselves up to reality in the moment, which then allows us to do better in the lives that we live, affects everything that we do. It kind of like sends shockwaves into the universe. So I love the fact that if you have a good mental state, it'll help you to move in a better way for your life, to be more healthier, to be more authentic, real, and genuine. I mean, Leo,
that takes time.
It definitely takes a lot of time.
Trauma, especially in the Black community. Like I would love to just encourage us to really normalize therapy, but specifically trauma therapy. Talking through your trauma is actually not going to be good for your trauma. You're going to relive it and put it deeper into your cells. So you don't want to go to talk therapy if you have trauma. So if you're a Black man in America, you probably have trauma. Okay.
You just don't want to fire off the same synapses that put you in the position.
Exactly. So there's research. So EMDR is great. EMDR is a great resource, and there's a lot of data to support the safety, and I personally know a certified practitioners that are, know about the safety of doing psychedelics specifically for trauma. And it's not doing it with your friends. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's different. It's not the same as focusing on your trauma with someone who knows how to pull it out of you and face it so that you can heal it. 100%. But it's mental health is definitely extremely important. But again, and I'll still come back to the diet, because like I said, 80-90% of that. So if you're trying to heal something, or anxiety or whatever, depression or whatever it is, and you're eating food dyes and GMOs, it's going to be a lot harder. I'm not saying you'll see no progress, but maybe very little or maybe none.
So
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, with that being said, Leo, you are a chef. You cook. You see how food changes people's behavior, how it changes people's mental, you know, and you can see how diet. I know you know how a better diet will lead people to thinking better. Do you believe that, you know, having a better mental state also can lead to you looking better, feeling better as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so as many people said it, you know, literally like your health is in your gut. Steve Jobs at the time of dying, he's worth $10 billion. All that money in the world couldn't save him. So we have to really start to invest in ourselves. So once you start to invest yourself, you literally going to start to see that your mental and your emotional health, spiritual health, it all starts to change up. And if you look into religious systems and spiritual systems, they be having dietary laws, they be right there. But people skip past that because you have to be accountable for your health. You have to be standing on that like, damn, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be trying to do that. I should do this. This is why a lot of people, when they tend to date, they don't deal with people that's responsible. They tend to deal with irresponsible people. So it's just like, if they wild out, oh, okay, he ain't gonna say nothing. But they should be saying something, especially when it comes to your nutrition. So it's 95% of your serotonin gonna be made in your intestines. Later on, right, during the night, that gets converted into your melatonin, right? Because everything in life is yin and yang, like the brother was saying. So then if you consuming foods that's putting holes in your gut, like the sister was mentioning that, if she's dealing like with the gluten, and the gluten is literally be like jumping through the brain barrier. And then people, if they be having like seizures and stuff like that, they notice they start to remove certain foods, how their mental health starts to change. Also, right, just what you consume as far as what you eat and drink literally like changes your physiology. Or just how you just look at things. For example, like let's say somebody has like diabetes and their eyes is starting to like go bad. What actually happened is the sugar is actually attaching the brain. The only part of our brain that we can see is our eyes. So what you're going to do is like, okay, cool. I'm going to have to start to pay more attention to what I'm intentionally putting into my gut. And your gut, that's going to help change your mental health for sure, because then you got the vagus nerve going on, and then your dopamine is going to be at an all-time high. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start to affect your hormones, which tells everything in the body what to do.
Wow.
Yes. Facts. That was deep. Yeah. And what you consume doesn't necessarily have to be what you put in your mouth. What you consume is who you hang out with. Who you hang out with is going to TV, the radiation that's being emitted from TVs, from microwaves. See, they're already on that vibration right now. But see, even me being in this environment right now.
I keep my phone in my pocket, never keep your phone.
Yeah, that's bad. But me being in this environment, me being in this frequency is allowing me to raise my frequency just because I'm around like-minded individuals.
That's right.
Me, if I'm around somebody of low vibration, if I'm around people of low vibration, then that's going to lower my vibration as well. Look at him. He's already taking his phone out.
It's just there's only over 20,000 studies to prove that it's not cell phones, but that microwave technology and EMFs do cause cancer, tumors to grow, brain bleeding.
Yeah, and just being around toxic people, because you got to think about it, they're letting off an aura. Their aura is their electromagnetic field, and everybody has one. Everybody has a little bubble before it started, I asked her if I was too much in her bubble, right? But I was just playing. We're all good, and so
and I was like.
It's whatever.
I didn't have one. Bubble.
But everybody has one. Everybody has an electromagnetic field that they let off. And some people have a low vibrational electromagnetic field. And some people might be a little bit bigger. And it also buffers. So like if I'm around somebody that has a lower vibrational field than I do, they might try to infiltrate my field. 100%. They'll try to because it's called sympathetic resonance. And so that sympathetic resonance will allow you, if you're operating at a higher frequency and your friends operating at a lower frequency, that person can you can lower your frequency based off the individual that you're hanging out with. And you can raise it as well. You can help raise. It just depends on which one's more strong, which one's stronger, and which one's more prevalent. And whatever they're doing. And so you got to be very mindful of what you consume.
How much you're emitting.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can definitely see that within the different relationships that I have. You know, how you feel different about different people in your life.
For sure.
Not just by the way that, you know, you guys communicate, but just the feeling, it makes you act a certain way with that person.
Facts,
you know what I
man,
mean? Like
facts.
you want,
Facts,
even
bro.
sometimes you
Facts.
want to be more genuine, or you want to do more, and then you're like, gosh, something. All right, hold up. I gotta check what this is.
Certain people can bring out a certain frequency out of you, just based off there, without even saying a word. If you're able to be in tune with your own frequency, that raises your antenna to pick up other frequencies around you. And so, if someone's very in tune with their own frequency, that raises their awareness or their field of awareness, because all we're doing is receiving and transmitting. That's all we're doing right now. Wi-Fi. We're doing it. Yeah, we're Wi-Fi. We're all doing it. We're in this physical body, this avatar that we're in, but we're emitting energy. We're emitting frequency out into the cosmos. But there's certain individuals, if you're in tune with your frequency and you have somebody that operates at a different frequency, I don't want to say lower, but a different frequency, and that person, without them saying anything, will just alter it. Alter it, but in a way that can be very helpful as well. If they bring out, because I know a person that brings out a certain frequency within me that I don't like. When that person doesn't even have to say anything; it just brings it out. But I keep that person around because that allows me to have a greater awareness of myself. That person is helping me grow because that person is operating in a sense that allows me to grow in an area that I'm not comfortable in, because it's bringing out an energy that I don't like. But sometimes you have to bring out that energy in order for you to grow.
I'd love to reframe that.
Okay.
And offer even a different perspective, but you could kind of look at it as overlap. But so my spiritual coach would tell me, right, and this I believe in law of attraction, all that. I think it's overlapping. Well, it's like, I do believe it's important to who your circles are, but I do believe it will just kind of naturally change. You know what I mean? So like if I go to my coach and I'm just like, yo, blah, blah, this happened. Like it's back on me. I can't blame you for sucking my energy, but not that it's not possible. Right. But that's my responsibility to bounce then. Right. If I'm really in that situation. Right. If I'm reactive, that's on me always. We look inward. Right. It's always on me. But he kind of said at the end, that's why I said I think it's overlapping, because he was like, it's going to make me grow.
It's going to it's going to allow you to grow.
We have to own our responses and reactions to whatever we deal with in life. I mean, that's that. But the truth is, we need. You said, I think I heard you say earlier, you speak on light and dark. We need both in order to reach the highest level. I mean, because it doesn't reach the highest level on the light or dark side. It's
contrast provides clarity. Because if think about it like this, if you're in a dark room, you can see light better.
Right.
You can see that instantly. If there's this was jet black and you just put a fire on, you can see it a lot more clear.
Esther Hicks says that. You know Esther Hicks?
I heard of her.
She's law of attraction. So like the whole thing, But anyway, if you know about the law of attraction, it's just like you're that frequency, you're attracting it. And so people will always ask at her lectures, well, what about, like when this real shit happens, this real bad stuff in my life, is like, well, that's for you to know what you really don't want, right? So that's your way of telling the universe, no, I do not want this. I do not want this in my life, right? So you can focus on it at that point and dwell on it, which will make more of it, right? Or you can be like, all right, I needed that contrast. I needed that contrast in my life. Okay, right? Like you said, you can only go up from here. I can see the light better when I'm in the dark. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and 50 talked about that a long time ago.
Okay.
And he was just saying,
go 50.
And he said, joy wouldn't be good if it wasn't for pain, and then the sunshine wouldn't be for nothing if it wasn't for rain. Everything in life literally is bipolar. Deep. And then if we be thinking about it, like, okay, cool, you actually need to appreciate the bad. Even if somebody doing you wrong, like, damn, okay.
Because there's a reason.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a reason.
I can learn from that. But too often, especially like in my our community, the learning curve just stops. It just stops.
It just stops. It stops at the disrespect.
No, it's a real. It
stops at the hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
It stops at the part where you feel you were done wrong and not given what you were supposed to get. It stops at all of the thoughts of negativity around you and all of the hurt that we probably gained from just being children living and going through our parents' mistakes.
For sure, yeah. And then, so, healing is beautiful, but it's painful.
Yeah.
And then once we can lock on, okay, cool, this is a process to get there. So progress is a process, and I'm willing to put into the time to do that. You're going to be in a better space, because too often we want the paycheck before we put the work in. Just think about that. Nowhere in life, I be telling people, like, where in life do you get the check before you even put the work in?
Oh my goodness.
You have to show the experience. Like, you have to show something, and then once you start to do that, you will put yourself in a better place.
Yeah,
like I might say,
overnight.
I might say something, and somebody be like, "Man, that's crazy." I'm like, "You don't never tell the hood that's wrong, the ghetto that's wrong, the slums that's wrong." But because I'm bringing something to your attention that's gonna help you be a better person, or I should say, that can make you enlightened to be a better person. Because it's not about what you know; it's about what you apply. We all know great things, but we're not applying it. What's the difference? So I can give you some game. You like, okay, cool. I'm gonna play that right now, or I'm gonna play that later on in life. But we have to get comfortable with healing and be able to get to another level.
Well, the reason why people a lot of times don't get comfortable with healing is because they have value in their vices. It's like everything that they do, like smoking weed. For me, I like it, right? It's something that I've done for a long time. It's more ritualistic for me. It's communal. It's something where I've shared with friends. But also, if I don't have it, I don't trip. I don't care. It's not going to hold me.
Can we use anything else as an example for advice?
We can use anything, but it is in people's anything that holds you, anything that controls you. If honestly, if I don't have people, they know I'm a smoke. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm all about it. I swear. But I swear, if it's not here, it doesn't affect me.
So it's not because
it's not part of. Right. So it's something you do, but it's not your identity.
No, hell.
And so where people fall short, I think, is they start to adopt bad habits as their identity. This is my identity. This is who I am. I'm a meat eater. I'm a fast food junkie. So that becomes their identity.
And cannabis is a bad habit, but
I'm not saying it's a bad habit.
I just want to clarify.
But a lot of people use it as a vice, as a crutch. A lot of people use a lot of things. Everything. It can be food.
Lots of things.
Comfort,
self-medicate.
Even the identity of being a vegan is being used in a way to like prop yourself up as some sort of. I mean, really,
the vegan community could be so toxic. And this is coming from somebody it could be so toxic.
I have not personally had that experience, which I'm very happy to say. I have not personally seen that in the community. I see it talked about, but in the actual community, which I'm very much a part of, I have not personally experienced that. I've met some amazing people that we've had amazing, deep, genuine conversations for hours. And I'm talking about many large Insta people that I've met speaking at these events with these people. So it might be speculated on, but I haven't personally experienced that. I know a lot of really amazing, integral, non-judgmental, loving, smart people. And we don't talk about being vegan all the time. Actually, just talking about life and natural birth and chemtrails.
A lot of these aspects are being idolized when really the benefits need to be internalized. And that's all that's real about it.
That makes sense.
It's great you chose to be a vegan. Shit. Me, I don't eat meat. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat milk. I don't eat none of that. I say to people, I'm a vegan to let them know quickly, hey, anything on the list of vegan is what I can eat. But sometimes I may eat cheese. Sometimes it's not that I'm a vegan. It's just quick. It's quick for me. I can go to it. All right. And that's all I can eat. And then I'll pepper in what I may want. But I have a totally different belief. My belief is completely different. It's like I feel like if I raise the life of the animal, then I can take the life of the animal if I've given it its fair exchange. So personally, I do believe if I get to the point where I can do it and raise the animal, then I'll be eating meat at that point. But that's my thought coming to it. That's not me following a specific path. That's me in my research study, whatever, for how I feel that I should go. And people can have their differences.
Absolutely.
In that sense. But I just think a lot of people use these things for like badges.
Yeah, for sure.
We still got the Boy Scout. And we're trying to get badges. All right, great. But the benefit, don't bring yourself away from the true effect that it has in your life and actually internalizing that.
And that's why my book is called Don't Go Vegan, because I'm so sick of people labeling it, because vegan has nothing to do with health. The word vegan is nothing to do with health. The word vegan is an ethical choice. That means you don't want to participate in the torture, enslavement, or use of animals for our benefit as humans. That's what the word means, period. Okay. It has nothing to do with health. However, studies have shown on a whole food, plant-based diet, and this is overwhelming evidence that is, you know what I mean? Plus our digestive system is not meant to eat meat, right? That there's overwhelming evidence that shows that that is one of the healthiest diets, at least more fruits and vegetables. And that's why I just say, eat more fruits and vegetables, decrease your animal products 2 to 3 times a week. You're going to be all right. I promise.
For sure.
I promise. Don't eat out of a box, no processed food, whole foods. You're going to be okay. I promise you. If we're reversing disease, again, different. But otherwise, you're going to be okay. So, I'm really not big on the labels, because you can eat Oreos every day.
I know, which is not
they have a vegan Doritos. It doesn't matter. Pick a vegan treat, right? You could help. We can make it better. You could have pasta every day.
Yeah, for real.
And you're going to be deficient in minerals. Yep. You won't be deficient in protein, but you will be deficient in minerals.
Chickpea pasta.
Right? Even with the chickpea pasta, you still going to be deficient, right? Is the point. You need leafy greens. Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, I got chickpea pasta at my house.
What I found is people blindly follow whatever gives them power.
Unfortunately.
Like, okay, cool. Like when they hear vegan, I always tell people, like, bruh, vegan don't mean healthy. Like anything, whatever label that you do, if you do it wrong, it's gonna be bad for you.
And that's why I say get rid of these labels, right? Stop doing diets. Learn about what your body needs. It's very simple. It's super simple. Eat more whole foods, more plants. That's what all the research is showing. I study the gut extensively, and none of these experts and scientists and doctors are vegetarians. Not one. They all eat meat. But guess what? All the research is showing. So none of these lectures are taught. I've hours and hours of lectures I've listened to, and recently, about the microbiome. They're all saying the same thing. Eat 30 to 40 plants per week. We got to decrease our animal products. And both of them, they're making jokes. A couple of these lectures are making jokes. They're like, look, I'm not a vegetarian, but that's what the data is showing. Like over and over.
Even carnivores got to admit, no.
So, even when I decided to go plant-based, I like the word plant-based.
Plant-based is a lot better.
Yeah. And so when I went plant-based, it solely was for me, for my health reasons. Like I wanted to, because I'm all about trying to maximize my health. But I did it within the context of I want this also to help the animal kingdom as well. And so some people go in it, and I want to help the animal kingdom, and if it helps my health, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I went in it with health benefits, and so I focused more. Like I was saying before, like I don't focus on protein, even though I powerlift. I was into bodybuilding and stuff like that. I don't focus on how much protein I consume. I focus on the minerals that I consume, the vitamins that I consume, get enough sunlight, get enough water. And I also focused on cell regeneration. By cell regeneration is the most critical, for building muscle and repairing the muscle, cell autophagy is so important because.
So you follow Dr. Sinclair?
I don't know what that is, but I know autophagy is one of the biggest.
It's a hot topic right now.
Autophagy is one of the biggest things that you can do for cell regeneration to slow down aging. To people like, what could I do to slow down aging? What could I do to
stop eating all day?
Stop eating all day. Allow your body, your cells to regenerate for 21 hours, for 16 hours, for however much it takes for that individual, or how much that person can handle.
If they're eating less meals, I will reiterate, it still comes back to your food. So what you're seeing are people taking all of these trendy topics and they're applying it because they don't want to change what they're eating. They're like, you want me to do a fast or you want me to do a cleanse? I got you.
Eating is the biggest drug, for one.
Yeah.
Eating, it stimulates so much of our brain.
It can.
We all love it.
It can.
We become addicted to it. And the things that we're putting in our food is very addictive.
Yeah.
And it's eating us. What we're eating is eating us.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's speak on it.
Yeah, no, and that's just like we're going to school, like for culinary arts and restaurant management. Like I used to think, like, man, we about to be the vanguards of, like eating clean. We don't do none of that up in here. And they was like, it's a joke that goes around and says, like, if the dude is a skinny chef or she a skinny chef, they don't
Then
know
they
how
don't
to
know
cook.
how to
Right?
cook.
And then when you
Yeah.
look at the health,
It is.
like the longevity,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we look at the longevity of people that really be in the cooking industry for a long time. Like they don't be making it that long because they eating all day. And then if you think about it, no, it's a real thing though. And then if you were eating like carbohydrates and proteins, it's like, you know, your insulin is going up. And then your insulin is an anabolic
He
hormone.
means meat. I don't even want to call it protein because they're just perpetuating this ridiculous myth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Meat.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Meat.
So it's
That's what he
Say
means.
it. Yeah,
Because
say
if
it,
he was
Leah.
eating beans,
Say
it
it.
wouldn't be a
Well,
problem.
we can break it all the way down. You're eating the meat of the fruit. So should I say I don't eat no meat?
no,
It's technically correct. No, that's a little
no, but the
semantics.
typical person only connects protein like
Yeah,
with meat.
no,
so
yeah,
that's the
no,
reason
I
I put it
know,
out
I
there.
know, I know.
I understand. I'm just I'm going on.
No, you got it. But then also that can really help our health out though is try to make as much as we can at home.
Yeah.
That way
Yes.
you know exactly what you putting in it.
Yes.
I like
Typically,
to fuck up a meal. Even when I mess up the meal, I do my best to eat as much as I can to teach myself shit. I need to do better.
That's punishment.
It's punishment. It's my own punishment.
You should have did better.
I should have did fucking better. I should have washed them beans. Goddamn,
Not
bunch of
me.
motherfuckers.
you
Tasting
should
a
be
little
ashamed of
dirty.
yourself.
Good for you.
No, that's
Not me.
No, but
I'm not
I
doing
like
that.
cooking at home for sure. That's
I give it to the
big
home.
for me. And honestly, see, this is one thing that we miss. We used to, with my homies, we used to sit down. We would have our study sessions, and after the study sessions, we would go to the store. We would go pick up some food, and we would come back, cook the food, and we would eat together. We would
Yeah.
commune. And after that, and of course, we don't smoke, and then chill a little bit and talk about what we study. There is, people don't have a value as much like when they're
rituals.
alone as far as
Yeah.
eating, because it's such a group thing.
Yeah, that's a foundation of like you look at any like civilization, food is what brings people together.
Yeah.
Literally. And then if you can attack the food supply, you can attack the people.
Yeah.
And then you control the information that actually gets to the people, you're really gonna be in a bad predicament. Like we was talking earlier, and during the pandemic, I was like, man, this is gonna be one of the worst things to ever happen to people, especially
Facts.
black people, and then the people, or I should say, colored people, right? So we need to be getting some sunlight. Like we really need it because it's vitamin D receptors on almost every cell in the body, right?
Yeah.
But what they told us to do is you go up in that room and you don't come out. What if the virus is up in there? And then the air, because most people don't air they
Rebreathing it.
No, that's a real thing. And most people don't air their houses out. So it's like, damn, the air up in here dirtier than the air that's outside. And plus I'm not exercising.
true.
I'm not doing any grounding. And then on top of that,
to add on to what you're saying, I seen a study where they were saying the air in your house can be up to 80%
typically.
more polluted than the air outside.
Yeah.
But
Just because there's tree life, there's plant life outside, and that provides the oxygen. One of the things
plants filter the air.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, and so we breathe out carbon
for us.
Yeah, we breathe out carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide that we breathe out, the plants ingest and turn it into oxygen. And so it's a symbiotic relationship that we have with plants.
Ever be like, damn, that nigga got bad breath.
Probably.
Maybe.
Hey,
I don't want that garbage. I don't want that
I don't want
garbage.
you by me. You.
I don't want that.
80% of Americans are already deficient in vitamin D because of the sunlight. And what people don't also understand is when you're wearing sunglasses, that's going to block your production of vitamin D because you're tricking your body into thinking you're inside.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing is I don't want anyone to be afraid of COVID or any virus. Because if you take care of your immune system, you will be okay. Everyone that died of COVID, which by the way, the numbers are, the truth is finally coming out. But some of us have known about this since the very beginning. Was not any more deadly than the common flu. That has always been the case, but regardless of even if it was, the point that the data is showing this, if you don't have these comorbidities, if you're healthy, you're going to be okay. You're just like any other flu or virus or sickness. So I always, try to hopefully comfort people and let you know you have 100% control of your body and only you can control when you get sick.
Yeah.
No one can get you sick with anything. I gave myself parasites. No one can get me sick. They're everywhere. Bacteria, virus, trillions of parasites every day we're exposed to all the time. And so as long as you're taking care of your immune system, which is going to be, you know what I mean? Like you said, sunlight, fruits and vegetables, getting raw leafy greens every single day.
And you got to think about how they systematically did it. When you think about how they systematically did it, it was genius. They had you breathing in your own carbon dioxide. They had you breathing in your own carbon dioxide. I mean, think about that. Think about that.
EMFs.
Just hyperventilating this brown paper bag real quick.
Fragrance.
Yeah,
Maybe you have a
exactly.
Glade plug-in.
Yeah.
What else?
I mean, they kept you inside. They shut down the gyms. Like they
Wi-Fi
said,
was
like
going on
it was
all
a
the time.
But only
perfect
controlled,
environment.
yeah.
It was a perfect environment to even if you were semi-healthy, to put you in an unhealthy state.
I agree. Yeah.
Like it was perfectly done, and like I honestly respect the creativity that was behind it. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I respect. Like I do. Like I tell people I admire Hitler in a sense, but and I know that's going to take a lot of people. Like, oh, I don't admire what he did. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I don't like what he did. It's very heinous. Very heinous. But his ability to manipulate a nation
Masses. Yes.
was
crazy.
genius. And you can't
I was
take
outside the
that
whole
from
time.
him.
I was not locked in
No,
my
no,
home.
the way he
That didn't
used
affect me at all.
Germany's pretty much
The propaganda was nuts.
His propaganda was nuts, but at the time Germany was going through its own Great Depression, so he used the loss from World War I and the fact that everybody was broke to then say, hey, these people are in power and causing all these issues. He attached to the issues of the people and then rose to power on the pain of the country, which was it was brilliant the way he did it. And if you read his book, it's actually very interesting. But
That's how the doctor.
And like
did.
he was actually in World War I. He actually got injured. He got injured, and that drove him into a different state of being. Like I said, I'm not condoning anything he did because what he did was heinous, and but it transformed him to become the juggernaut of Hitler. And like I said, I have to reiterate that I don't condone it because I know. Oh, wait a minute, because all they'll hear is, oh, he respects his creativity, but
I say the one good thing that he did was he brought to the world the awareness of the plot of the Nazi Jews. I'll never take that away. So it's like everybody say whatever they want, but he brought that to the awareness.
I brought that I brought that up to a couple of family. I was like,
and a lot of people hate me for that. But
they hate me too. They're like, you don't say that, Ethan. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I was before I was in the fitness world. I was a history teacher, and so I was a history teacher.
We need to talk more.
And so I had to teach about that aspect. Obviously, you know, there's certain things that I gotta I got to stay away from because of politics. But there's a certain level of appreciation even for the things that are not so good.
I mean, I have some appreciation for Stalin, and I don't care what nobody has to say about it. There's just certain individuals, Roosevelt. I like him.
Yeah, you can always find greatness in some of the most crooked people. Some of the best.
This is turning.
It's turning a little left, but I don't shy away from it. It's true.
It is what it is, man.
I was about to
Macrobiome.
Who wants the macro dose?
Right. So funny. I was about to circle that back, but it's like you can find some of the most beautiful things from like the ugliest mannered type of people. So some of the people that gave me some of the best advice was dope fiends. They was alcoholics. They was like, damn man, you know what's wild though? No matter what people trying to do in their life, I'm going to get high at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to get high. I'm going to get drunk. And meanwhile, you don't have no addictions, right? That's keeping you from something. And you can't even do shit. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So then if you really think about it, like we have to put our health in the forefront, right?
Yeah.
So we have to be looking at it like, damn, why would I want to do anything to destroy my temple? And even if I'm going to destroy my temple, I'm trying to keep it at the lowest grade possible. But too often people actually do the opposite. They do 95% bad and then they come talking to us, hey brother Leo, hey brother E, what can I do now? Like, damn, you ain't even think about none of that. I'm like, bro, it's the same thing I was saying, bro. Go outside, go get some vitamin D, some grounding, pay attention to your microbiome, eat some fruits and vegetables, and drink water, because water, or eat it too, because it's involved in every function in the body. They like, it can't be that simple. I'm like, yes, it is.
It could be as simple as what you just said right now, but you're like, well, tell me what fruit to eat. The thing is, if you simply just eat fruit, fruit has a high, it's highly water. It's just what structure, H3O2 water, which is something that we need. A lot of times we drink too much H2O. H2O and I get it because that's what's abundant in all these stores, but H2O can actually leach from you. It can leach from you because you deconstruct the H2O, then restructure it to H3O2 in the body, and you need that in order for you to be hydrated. And a lot of times, like what I'm drinking right now has salt in it, has sea salt in it. You need salt in order to retain water. In order for the cell to retain water, that's how I build muscle. I build muscle off of salt. I drink salt, and that salt gets into my cellular structure, and it allows me to bring in water. Your muscles over 70% water. Over 70% water. That's the pump. And if you're not getting enough salt, you're not going to be able to expand that muscle where it can get bigger and it can develop. And so water is very, very critical in order for you to build muscle mass.
Yep. And then that's that. Okay, so let's speak about this real quick. The truth about alkalization. So a lot of people want to say I'm alkalized by my water that I'm getting from the store, and they do nothing else, and then they feel like, I'm really energized. I'm doing great now, guys. Look, this is perfect. I drunk this $4 bottle of water, right? And then also. I'm going to go ahead and eat things that'll pull out anything that may have added any alkalization to my body. I'm going to go ahead and eat all that right now after. Let me get this donut.
And they don't know that.
Let me get that burger.
Let me get that burger.
They don't know that. Okay. They really don't realize that they're doing it.
I'm just setting the playing field. I'm just talking about what I see typically.
Yeah, definitely.
I really do. They don't. But, okay, so let's talk about, people ask me about water all the time. First of all, you can alkalize water. That is a real thing, and that you can have structurally alkalized water where it is more bioavailable to the body, et cetera, okay? However, there's different ways to alkalize it. So one, there's just naturally alkaline water that is like natural spring water, right? Then you can electrically charge it. Now, there is data to show that is more bioavailable, blah, blah, et cetera, okay? However, the bottles you're getting at the store, if they are electrically charging that water, the charge doesn't last. So first of all, you don't know if you're getting alkaline water. It's really a huge gamble. The chances are it's not, because the chance that it was delivered that morning are very slim to none. These are cases. It's a business. Yeah. So they're doing the bare minimum, just like if you buy like shelved probiotic items. It's cool. It's fermented a little, but way, way less than what you get at home, right? So can you alkalize water? Yes, that's a real thing. Yeah. But the chances that you're drinking alkalized water, unless you own a Kangen machine or something to that effect, is very slim to none.
And for me, that's why I spent the most amount of money.
It's not the magic cure, like you were saying.
Oh, no, definitely. That's why I spent the most amount of effort, the most amount of money on water. So I have electrolysis that allows me to drink more alkaline water, but also structured water. After I do that, I also vortex it. So I have a vortex machine as well. And so from the electrolysis, I put it into the vortex. And so that allows me to get a more oxygenated water, because a vortex, like that's why they say you don't drink out of still water.
Let me get that.
You don't drink out of still water. The water needs a vortex, because when it vortexes, it structures itself.
That's also why they say water is alive, because
exactly. And it takes 5 minutes of vortex to clear the memory. And so I
gotta talk to you more about a few things. We're in a lot of similar studies.
Yeah, we'll vibe on some stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like, I go through a process of water, because that's the most abundant thing in your body is water. And I was telling somebody earlier that as you get old, what ages you is actually the depletion of water within the body. That's what ages you. When you're born with 80% water. A baby's born with 80% water. By the time you're elderly, you're at 60%. It's the oxidation of that water that allows you to age. And so if you want to stay young, you got to be able to hold that water within your body, the H3O2 water. And you do so by alkalizing the blood. You can alkalize the blood by drinking more alkaline water. And if you don't have, because you don't need an electrolysis machine and you don't need a vortex machine, you can simply grab some water, put it out in the sun. That'll electrically charge the water. In a glass, preferably in a glass. Yeah, in a glass, not in a plastic, because the plastic will
actually contaminate.
Yeah, it'll contaminate. But get a glass, like all three of us have mason jars.
Those are good.
And you can put that out into the sun, and that will electrically charge the water. if you want to go a step further, you can put intention, because you can put intention to the water and structure the water in accordance to the design.
You were talking earlier about a documentary that you had seen, where in that documentary they had listed an experiment about putting labels on water, and when you were to freeze the water, look at it under a microscope after a certain amount of time, you see that the crystallized patterns were different based upon intention.
I think it's Muramoto, I think is the name of the study, right? And it's funny that the retreat center I used to work at, where they were specialized in reversing diabetes, there was a sprout house and they had affirmations written on all of them. And as one of the chefs there, one of the raw chefs that they had there, before we even let the public in, like the guests of the retreat center, to eat the food, before we opened the door to the little dining area, it was like part of our job to bless the food. That was part of my job description at this place. That place is the truth.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So so there is data to show. So I always make the joke, like, we go a little woo-woo, but there's science behind everything that we're saying. So like, even that's what I was saying, for me, like Zeitgeist is really connected, that because I'm atheist, I'm very concrete. I'm very much in my physical body. I've only just in the past few years started to go emotional, spiritual trauma, right? But like, for me, like that, it's all the same. It's all the same. And it's really all the same. It's just a different perspective.
It's not
There's
woo woo. It's woo woo.
And like, you can look at this stuff under like they call it cymatics, and so like different structures. Different structures yield different based off the emotional attention. It will create a different crystalline structure, and that crystalline structure assimilates to the crystalline structure within your body. And so you have blood crystals within your body, within your blood. You have blood crystals, and they looked under a microscope and they saw this kaleidoscope of different colors within your DNA. And so that's an indication that we are light beings, because water is crystal. It's liquid crystal. It's liquid crystal. Just like you can't see a rainbow without the atmosphere of water and the sunlight. That's what creates, it's a liquid crystal that you see. It refracts. It refracts, exactly. And so we have that same thing. We're, like I said, 70% water, 80% water, or it just depends on how much water you're able to contain. So if you are that amount of water, 3/4 water, why not try to maximize that ability to utilize that water for, I think, and this is my belief, I think water and sun can manipulate any nutrient you need, any mineral you need. Water and sun, because if you think about it, what is needed in order for life? Life is structured water and sun. Wherever you go in this universe, wherever they try to go in different places in this universe, what do they look for? They look for water. They don't have to look for a sun, because the sun is abundant. It's
well, you get light.
You get light, so you don't have to. You don't have.
They're using the light, and then they look off of the color that comes off of the planet, the different light spectrum that they get. They can tell if there's water on the planet.
Particle structure.
Exactly.
And so you already kind of have the light.
You have the light available, and so all you need is water.
All you need to do is find the water.
All you need, because when you do that, you can create single cell organisms, multi-cell organisms, just off of simply water and sunlight. You can create, and based off the consciousness that the light is emitting, the consciousness, because light is a consciousness, because light has its own frequency, has its own, depending on what frequency. That's why I'm saying, like in the last podcast, I said, go out and get some sun, because right now the sun is emitting solar flares. Right now as we speak, it's emitting solar flares. Also on the 13th. Huh? What's that?
Messed up my internet yesterday.
Yeah, but that's the byproduct of it. But if on Father's Day we had this crazy the Schumann resonance went haywire on Father's Day, and it started showing cymatics in the graph. It started showing, because Earth's frequency is rising right now, and I was saying in the last podcast, the frequency of Earth matches the frequency of our alpha brainwave. It's in sync. It's in sync. If Earth's frequency rises, our brainwave rises along with it. Those that don't, unfortunately, as Earth reaches new consciousness, will end up, unfortunately, passing away. And that's just from low vibrational frequency. But as we evolve, and this Earth evolves, because Earth is is conscious. It's a living being. Because it's not human, we're like, oh, well, that's not. It's a living consciousness.
Life from life.
Yeah, exactly.
Which people don't understand.
And you have to live in harmony. You got to be harmonious with the life that is presented to you, which is the sun, the moon, the earth, and so on and so forth. It's when we get out of harmony with that nature or netter that we fall off. And
Sure. No, I get it. I was gonna like circle around and talk about the water.
Yeah.
Alkalinity. Shout out to the most honorable Dr. Sebi. He's really made it become famous, you know.
Yeah.
And if you actually test some tap water in the United States, they'll come out alkaline. But that doesn't necessarily, I don't know who in 2023 think drinking tap water is like a positive type of thing. Yeah. And then on the backside of that, it's a marketing tool for a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you literally can just like
greenwashing.
They put a lot of those minerals in that tap water to make it like they'll put like, was it chlorine and like calcium? They'll put minerals.
Yeah, I mean, really, they're getting paid off of their preservatives.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like that's why I was saying before. No, you good. That's what I was saying before. It's best that you do it with self. Yeah. That way, you know exactly what you're getting in. Because on the other end, when it comes to like making money, they definitely gonna find a way to do it.
Off your demise.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then plus, like he was mentioning, like it's crystals in the body, right? So, and then when you speak into water, you can make it like be good, look pretty, or you can make it look bad. And the same thing goes on in our body. Like if we mostly water, why are we talking bad about ourselves? Why are we not consciously thinking like, okay,
so
to the
we
highest
circle
and best
back
degree?
around again to the fact that your mental state can affect your physical.
Yeah, 100%.
In many different ways.
Facts.
Hey, you know what? Thank you guys very much for speaking to me about health, nutrition, spirituality, how it all affects us in our daily lives. I mean, look, I feel like, you know, I've gained knowledge. I've confirmed a lot of things that I just thought, you know, as I'm going through my journey. And I want people to be able to continue to gain from you all as you guys are moving more in your journey, gaining more knowledge and sharing more with people. You guys are here to help people. And with that, that makes every time that you do, it compounds what you do onto you guys. So I'm trying to get you guys out there more. I want people to know how to connect with you. So let's go again. And it may be a little redundant, but let people know who you are. Shout out your social medias and let's get you out to the people. Let's start here.
PC Universe, everything that exists in this universe exists within you. I'm Ethan Ellisor. You can follow me on Destroy and Rebuild Fitness. That's my IG tag. Once again, it's Destroy and Rebuild Fitness. You can also follow me on Facebook as well. Ethan Ellisor. I post tons of health things. I also sell tea as well. And I put out something called Melanin Chronicles, and you're going to want to follow that because I put my heart and soul in it.
All right. Nice. My name is Elizabeth Joseph. You can get me at BeMoreRaw.com or at BeMoreRaw, spelled normally BeMoreraw.
And it's a win. Check me out on Facebook, Leo Victory II. Also, check out my website with the supplements, www.victorytohealth.com. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram, LTG219.
All right. Thank you guys very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Definitely. Peace and love.
Y'all drank all our drinks.
We finished. Hey, let's cheers.
Welcome. You're tuned in to SongLab Live. Thank you. Don't forget to share, subscribe, follow us on all the social medias.